Welcome, 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 and thank you for joining us for our celebration, our 1 year celebration of yellow. We are really genuinely excited. And I have to give credit to Maureen because the fact that it had been a year really just passed me by, but she noticed. And we're celebrating as a result of her genuine awareness, which is usually more than mine. So I do want to say we're grateful that you chose to share your good company with us because there are so many other possibilities. So the fact that you're here with us means a lot. And as Maureen and I have said to ourselves after meeting online, and to others too, who have joined us since then, we are so happy you found us and so happy we found you. Maureen and I hope that you find Yellow to be warm and welcoming and a healing community in which you are seen and heard individually and culturally and collectively. We believe it's really important now more than ever to celebrate our diverse heritages in solidarity, especially amid all the relentless attacks on immigrants today and the increase in violence perpetrated on Asians, at least in the United States. A few words about our title. Yellow. We chose yellow with deliberate intention. Yellow is in equal measure a rejection, a repudiation, and also a reclamation. It's a rejection of the West view of yellow as a contemptible color associated with weakness, cowardice, inferiority, and more than a mere color, it came to represent the Asian's character in the Western mind. It's also a reclamation of yellow as beautiful. For Asians, yellow represents beauty and life and resistance and soil and courage and rebirth. Yellow is so much more to me. Yellow is a we. We are yellow. We are lungs filled with 1,000 no's. We are a line in the sand. We are arms holding each other. We are art becoming witness. Storytelling manifest as resistance and protest. Yellow to me is a color of power, beauty, and joy, and a celebration of the richness of our cultures, our ancestors, and the generations yet to come. Yeah, we are truly beautiful. We are meant to be poems across the sky. And we thank you so much for joining us. And I'll pass the baton to you, Maureen.
Thank you, Keith. I love every iteration of yellow that you dream up. So thank you so much.
Thank you.
So yeah, I'm so grateful to be in the space with everyone. Just wanted to share that Keith and I are the co-founders and co-hosts of this space. I'm just sharing Keith's information and mine in 1 second. Oh, mine is too long. Yes. Yes, I always talk too much. That's true. So I'll send mine in a bit. But yeah, thank you so much for being here. Um, I really do hope that this will be a meaningful experience and space for you, whether you've been here before or you're a newcomer, whether you're presenting yourself or something or someone meaningful to you for the first time, or it's a recurring practice that you are finessing and exploring. So I feel so blessed to witness everyone and hold space together. So just some quick, very quick guidelines that were also in the Eventbrite in case you didn't notice, but we will not tolerate any hate speech or behavior. We will not tolerate any kind of xenophobia, racism, any kind of ism, no Islamophobia, no anti-Semitism. We are for a free all nations and countries from oppression and imperialism, from the Philippines to Nepal to Palestine to Turtle Island, free us all, fucking free us all. And so we've had many discussions within the space of yellow about this. And so if you find that you're not in agreement or this is contrary to your beliefs, I would say this is not the space for you, or maybe I would say this is just the space for you to unlearn and learn and deconstruct. So with that said, we will open and close with a grounding practice. While this space can hopefully be healing or a starting point in a healing journey, it can also be activating and triggering. And so I invite you throughout the event to please check in with yourself, with your body, your breath, and to really be curious and be gentle with yourselves as you process whatever you are witnessing, whatever you are sharing. And I'm going to invite you all to, of course, participate however feels right for you. Um, and so I'm going to invite you to close your eyes or fix your gaze on a neutral position. I'm going to close my eyes. And let's all just settle in. Take a moment to land in this space. Land in your body. Land in your breath. In this space, we will invite visibility, visibility on our own terms. We will invite content and conversation that is uncomfortable, contrarian, outside of the norm. And this can be scary, whether you align with it or not. Visibility, knowledge, it's all scary. And it's all part of reclamation, returning to ourselves and each other in meaningful, nourishing ways. So take a moment to process, to brace ourselves for whatever we may witness that perhaps we have lived experience, perhaps we've never been allowed to talk about it or entertain it. Perhaps we were not given the tools to navigate in the ways that we needed and deserved. And suddenly we are here being confronted with truth, our own truth. As individuals, collectives, people, all with different lived experience, and yet somehow painted as a monolith, treated as the same. Take a moment and let that settle. Ready your body and your spirit for confrontation, revelation, celebration. Quick inventory. Take a quick inventory of your body from your head all the way down to your toes. Whether you're touching each part of you, whether you're visualizing, or whether you're thinking about each part of you that deserves to exist in your entirety. As you make your way from top to bottom, give yourself permission and acknowledge your parts, your whole. And when you're ready, open your eyes and return your gaze to the screen, to each other. And remember that this is resistance, the celebration, and this knowing and unlearning. All of this gathering is resistance. So let us agree to hold ourselves and each other. And whenever you need to, please tend to your body and your breath as you need and deserve. We will have a quiet room. We do have a quiet room, rather. It's literally called the quiet room. And if you need to enter this space to virtually check out or check in, and you'd like either Keith or I to keep you company, then please message one of us. Okay. All right. Woohoo! What's next? Okay, so let us begin. Keith, when you're ready.
Aishwarya is a familiar face to us at Yellow. Somebody that's we've come to really cherish and prize for her contributions. She says that Yellow has been one of the few rare and unexpected communities that make her belong and take space. She is a brown Asian disabled woman from India. She loves writing on themes connected to disability, patriarchy, ableism, family trauma, gender, and speaking out on societal taboos. Yes, customs and mindsets. She has a list of creative works included in her portfolio. She is Indian and her pronouns are she and her. Aishwarya, you have the stage.
Thank you, Keith, for the lovely introduction. Um, so I am joining from Mumbai, and it's night time, and I have a yellow artificial light in the room and a big tube light. So that's the yellow for me tonight.
Very cool.
My first piece is Unpacking Love. There are many definitions of love. Some say love arrives after marriage. Some say love means forgetting your existence. Some say love means having the other as the center of your universe, like the sun is to earth. Some say it is about compromising. Some say it is about becoming free. Love cages, love burns, love poses a constant conundrum. Sometimes it is about honor. Some believe love conquers and controls. Some love like their breath. They don't even know they are in love. Some love how the ocean longs for the touch of the moon. Some love in silence. Some love according to customs. Some love in defiance of customs. If you ask me, love does not follow rules or tries to stay within the margins. It is not an equation or a procedure that obeys. No, love is like the wind, fleeting and overpowering. Love is like fire, hot and unsettling the nerves. Love is like water, deep and ever flowing in infinity. Love is like our soil, messy and made of different sediments. Love does not bow down to what is written in scriptures, because why should it? Love is a different scripture for everyone. Love does not need a religion to prove itself. It is a truth standing all on its own in the face of every oppressive structure. The love that comes from you, that love is your creation. It is present in your body, your gaze, and in the love languages you practice. Love demands presence. It strips you of shame. Love chooses to fight when injustice walks in a room. Love flickers in the presence of neglect and pity. Love dims in the face of bloodshed. Love suffocates under the weight of cruelty and manipulation. Love has a way of knocking on your door when you're busy making coffee in your pajamas, when you're least expecting to be loved, in a touch, in a hug, in the most mundane of conversations. Love is a gift. It is stored in the lyrics of songs on your playlist. Love is in the hum that you sing without thinking. Love is in the eye contact held with someone. Love is there even in parting. Love is even there in what remains unsaid and held tightly by the heart. Love is missing them anyway, even when you're out of touch. Love is remembering and honoring your past selves. Love blooms when your inner child is understood. In the unfiltered, embarrassed, needy versions of you, there is love to be shared and received. It is what makes you, you. My second piece is on music. Music, my soulmate, my grace, a best friend who catches me when I don't even know I am falling. The one I turn to without really thinking. A companion who stays long after the lights have gone out. The one who stays with my every form of anxiety. The one who brings a monsoon into me. Music is love. Passion wearing different colors. Music is a form of rebellion. When bans on speech are made, music gives shape to my rage. Music gives shape to the non-linear. Music is breath for the nervous system. Music never abandons, never betrays, never gives a cold treatment. My third piece is the other side of being disabled. In a cloud of imagination, another version of me in an alternate universe walks ahead of me holding an umbrella. There's a bounce in her step. She's swirling that blue striped, maybe polka dotted umbrella over her head. She's definitely singing. She is me from another universe. There's a magnetic smile on her face, as there is one on my lips as I enter inside this cloud. She's having fun moving in her world. She doesn't need to imagine to run or jump. She runs, slicing the water. She jumps, landing on the puddle of earth. She lives in her universe where her body listens to her. She doesn't have to calculate safety to step out. She's not dependent on the limbs of somebody else. In all my dreams, no one calls me a cripple. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Aishwarya. All right, take a moment to check in with yourself, with your body and your breath, especially you, Aishwarya. Thank you for the blessing. And let me just, this is Aishwarya's information once more. And now, I am so excited to announce, to introduce AIM. AIM. I don't want to take up the time that you have to present. All I can say is AIM is power and kindness and compassion and love embodied. And I have so much respect and awe for you, AIM, for all that you are and all that you represent. So, without further ado, AIM, you can unmute yourself. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much. Could someone let me know if you could see the screen well? Thank you so much. My name is Aim. My pronoun is she, her. I'm from Thailand, and right now I live in Portugal. I feel so happy and honored to be here. I still feel a little emotional from Aishwarya poetry. So apologize if I am a little bit unsettling. And English is not my first language, so if I say something that is not clear, please feel free to ask me. So today I will present to you an organization that I'm working with, Animal Alliance Asia. We are a nonprofit organization working in 7 Asian countries. Our main goal is to create a kinder world for farmed animals, but not just for the farmed animals, because we recognize that the problems that we are facing is not isolated. We're doing the work that we do for the planet and for the communities that we're working with as well. And next slide, please. So first of all, I'd like to start by inviting you to think more about like a general problems that we are facing together collectively, globally, which is climate crisis. Of course, it's becoming increasingly concerning, and the major contribution to that is animal agriculture. I have these figures here just to present that a big part of animal agriculture contribute to the climate crisis and is also a primary cause of biodiversity loss. And even if we managed to eliminate entirely the fossil fuels, we would not be able to prevent a climate disaster without reducing food sector climate emissions. That means we have to do something about it. We cannot keep producing the food the way we have been doing. Next slide, please. And climate justice also comes with human suffering, and I'm sure you all here are aware that people who are impacted by the climate disaster first are the vulnerable communities who are marginalized and contribute the least to climate crisis, but they are the one who receive the impact first. And not to mention human suffering and human rights violation that's happening in animal agriculture with the workers and slaughterhouse workers. They are among the top most dangerous working environment for their physical health, but also psychological health as well. Next slide, please. And another most important part why we're doing what we do is animal suffering. Farmed animals are sentient beings just like us, or like any other animals that we all love, like dogs and cats. They can experience joy and pain and much more. But sadly, they are being forced to being born and raised in captivity their whole life. And at the end of their lives, they are sent to slaughterhouse. And if we see the whole scale of our world, 75% of farmed animals right now live in Asia. So clearly we have so like big room that we can do something about. Yeah, next slide, please. Thank you. And yeah, this is why we are doing what we do at Animal Alliance Asia, or AAA, like triple A's. We are founded in 2019 by two Asian women, one from Japan and one from Hong Kong. And I'm so proud to say that we work in an all Asian team in these 7 Asian countries. And these respective countries, we have country director who speak the language native to the country and live in the communities, and they are the leaders of their own communities. Our mission is to build and mobilize a community of local animal justice and vegan advocates across Asia to create waves and impactful actions for a better world for farmed animals. Next slide, please. And this is what we do. This is our work. We can separate into 2 major parts of our work. The first part is to promote plant-based diets. This is to make a shift, a transition away from animal agriculture, which caused the problems that I mentioned early on. So in order to encourage people to turn away from animal agriculture, animal products, and adopt plant-based lifestyles more. So we do this by different types of activities across all the 7 countries that we are working in. We do school and university engagements, offering educational activities for students, teaching them about animal ethics and environments. And we increase plant-based options in school canteen. In some country, we also do policy change, diet change pledges to encourage more people to try plant-based diets. And we do awareness raising campaigns for the mainstream public as well. But we also recognize that changes cannot be done overnight, and it is a continuous effort that we all collectively need to join hands and work together. That's why we value movement building or community building, so that communities are empowered and be the leader of their own change and carry on the work even after us. So we do advocate training. We have online workshop, Animal Advocacy Conference Asia, which is a free conference for everyone to come together and learn from each other. We have a regranting program called Reroute Asia Fund, where we disperse funds to local advocates who work in their own projects in their own community. And we also do community building events like inviting people in together and support each other. Next slide, please. And since 2020, we reached a lot of people, engaged too many people, almost 40K that we engaged with. We offer 300 initiatives and workshops free of charge, and we managed to cover 11 Asian languages. And what we envision is a culturally relevant, effective, and inclusive animal justice movement in Asia, with a strong local leadership, not for just the farmed animals, but for the planet and for the communities that we work with as well. Next, please. The last slide is how you can engage and help us. We have all the information on our website, so please feel free to learn more about us there. It would be so nice if we could keep in touch. You can follow us on these social media. I can send you the link after. And yeah, just let's keep in touch. And if we have any updates or activities that you want to join, please don't hesitate. And not long ago, we also just launched our fundraising campaign, where we invite everyone to donate every amount of donation, $5, $10. It will go directly to support local advocates in Asia, to support farmed animals and the planet. And any amount of donation, you can also pick one artwork that you see here to use as your phone lock screen. They are created by our lovely, thank you, artist, Mika Aono. She's a Japanese artist who donated this beautiful art for us. So yeah, you can scan the QR code or share the link as well. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, AIM, for all the work that you and your community do. It's amazing. You're amazing. All right, we just dropped AIM's information once more into the chat. And AIM also just shared all the information with Animal Alliance Asia. All right. Keith, when you are ready. You're muted.
How about now?
No, we can hear you.
Okay, great. So it is my genuine pleasure to be introducing to all of you Eve Lee. Eve Lee is they, them pronouns, is a queer Asian migrant and nomadic poet who has made homes in London and Singapore. They write about home, healing, and humanity through a decolonial and existential lens. Connect with Eve on Instagram at Suitcase of Poetry. So, Eve, you have the floor.
Hi. Hello, everyone. Thanks, Keith, for the introduction. It's so nice to be back here again. I'm a migrant poet, and migrating from the east to the west has really made me see that the world is really run on colonialism. So I write a lot about that. And this past week, I have two fresh new poems driven by the rage of the things that have been happening in the UK and everywhere in the world. So sit back, prepare for that. And as you see beside me, I have a special guest. He's my partner, Owen. Say hi, say hi.
Hello. Nice to meet all of you.
Welcome, Owen.
Hi.
We are both from Singapore, and he is also presenting his art together with me for my first poem. So, Maureen, would you like to share the screen? Thank you. So my first poem is titled Graffiti, as you can see. So this drawing will make sense once I start it, and I'll go now. When I started writing this, I realized I don't even know how to spell graffiti because I've never used the word, never had to use it. In my home country, graffiti is illegal, it's vandalism, a sight for sore eyes. Once upon a time, a white man was sent to prison and caned for defacing our beloved public trains. Banksy could never. We would be known as the country that finally exposed the world's most mysterious artist. Guess what? In other parts of the world, where they have freedom of expression, graffiti is actually a kind of art, a pretty cool one. But no, you cry. We are so proud of this country because it is so spotlessly clean. Yes, maintained by the hands of brown migrants. And yes, I bet you didn't realize the rule of cleanliness applies to the people too. Anyone who stands out like a sore thumb, disrupts the peace, the quiet, the stability, becomes a stain to be scrubbed clean. Then you say, but we have street art. Look at Haji Lane and Chinatown. They call them commission wall murals. A vibrant, legal street art scene. Like theater plays and stand-up comedy, you are free to express yourself within designated boundaries. Nothing gets aired in the public space here before the official stamp of approval. So we ended up with pretty pastel paintings of food heritage and national history. The people are happy enough not to question their aesthetic Instagram walls. They say, why do we need to get all political? How lucky we are to live in such a clean, safe, peaceful country. Look at our poor neighbors. So messy, so dangerous. They only have themselves to blame because they don't listen to their government or follow their laws like a good citizen. Cleanliness and what you call safety is political when it comes at the expense of others. I will never be proud of my perfect, clean country when a group of students are arrested for unauthorized public assembly, also known as holding the trans flag outside the education ministry because the flags of other people, other lifestyles and cultures is also vandalism. Before I left my country, I had no idea what the Palestine flag looked like, never attended a protest in my life. When Black Lives Matter shook the world, we were warned not to import Western values because we are a perfect Asian country where racial and religious harmony is written into the Constitution, imprinted into the very fabric of our society. So tell me, how can you still claim that racism exists? Do you see now? It starts with graffiti and then flags, but it's so much more than that. Be very careful. There is a fine line between utopia and the other one. I'll ask you again, if we still need to be clean in order to be safe, do you still choose to wipe off the paint from your walls and the blood from your stained fingers? Thank you. So that's the first poem, Graffiti, about Singapore, my home country, and where Owen is from. He's very shy, so but anyway, that's his art. You can see his Instagram name there, Sketching My Way Home. So if you want to support his art, please do give him a follow. Thank you, Maureen. Okay, second poem is titled Cloud. This one is for the people who are working in corporate America. I think you will relate to this. And in my past life, before I was a poet, I was actually working in the evil big tech. So, cloud. When I work in big tech, I had to Google what a cloud was, not the ones in the sky. My manager, an old white man who hired me to translate the Asia Pacific into legible English and team players, was more than happy to educate me that a cloud was actually a cluster of data centers, as if that was supposed to make any sense. What exactly are these data centers? Are they real buildings? Where are they? And why have I never seen them around? What's inside? How do they work? How do the photos in my iCloud get sent to the bigger one? Too many questions later, I had to be content with knowing that somewhere out there in some faraway land, in a corner of America, or so I'm told, there is a colony of buildings filled with hot, sizzling servers working 24/7 to keep our customers across the world, to serve our customers across the world, keeping their data safe with unlimited storage so they can run their businesses and serve their own customers. Essentially, I concluded, my company makes money by helping other companies make money, and money begets money, like a circle jerk of billionaires laughing their way to the bank, which is also run on a data center, probably many of them. I look up and the sky weighs heavy with disillusionment. That was just the beginning of the loss of my innocence. After clouds came artificial intelligence. I never thought that science fiction movies would come true in my lifetime. After all, it wasn't too long ago I remember a childhood without screens, when the only clouds I knew were the white fluffy shapes in the sky. Meanwhile, my company continues to make more upgrades, more features, more premium subscriptions to upsell. The CEO continues to hold quarterly all hands to talk about how the sales are not good enough. To do my job, I have to try my best not to think about the phantom colony of data centers blinking with their eerie blue eyes on a phantom stolen land somewhere far away. I understood now why no one ever asked, what exactly is the iCloud where the photos get shipped to? Because how would we sleep at night if we suddenly knew the truth? It turns out we can all sleep pretty well. I remember when we first learned that asking ChatGPT to write an email consumed a whole bottle of water. It turns out these clouds were not the useful kind that watered trees with rain. They were the thirsty kind. But the shock never lasts long enough to win over our need for speed, convenience, whatever it is that people use technology for. To be fair, it's not entirely the people's fault. Remember? The World Wide Web of software companies selling subscriptions to our companies because and until everyone was on Zoom and Outlook and Google and you couldn't keep your jobs without it. Remember all this stuff that used to come in good old CDs? Oh, right, they have the cloud these days. Maybe that's the problem. They name it too well. We sleep at night, vaguely knowing they power our lives and our jobs with some fluffy, obscure thing with no shape or form in some distant sky. Like another nameless country with other people's nameless children dying for us to use the latest iPhone. Thank you. So the end is to remind everyone that do not upgrade your iPhone. People are dying, children are dying in Congo to mine for cobalt. Yeah, thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much, Eve. Yes. One more time in the chat is Eve's information. Please connect with them. And with Owen. Thank you, Owen, for your brilliant talent and eye. So next up is One more moment. So just take a moment while I handle the tech to check in with your body and your breath. So we're going to introduce the next artist and then we're going to have our first break. All right, Hiten and I have been connected through fellow artists, and I am so excited to witness you, to witness your lived experience, your art, and thank you for blessing us today. So you can unmute yourself.
Okay.
Yes.
I was trying to do it, but I could not. Could you share the screen, perhaps? This is my first time here, and thank you all for having me because I think you guys know already each other, and it's nice to see. Just a fair warning, I didn't know exactly what to share because I don't know the full context of everything, but yeah, I think I ended up sharing now two poems. So as Maureen said, this is the first poem. It's about my lived experience, but it's about witnessing capitalism and materialism. Let's say and a little bit hedonism when I first arrived uh, to Europe, and it's also about the I don't know how to say it, like the individualism. I don't know how to say that, if that makes sense. That was a bit different than what I was used to growing up in Punjab, in India, and where the teachings are like there is a saying something like do hard work and share what you consume or something like that, translated from Punjabi. So it's called Feet on Earth. I was gone away for long for a stranger's dance in the new land, with the weak and the lifeless and the strong. Walked on straight roads where the learned old way ceased to find me. When the dreams and dusk approached, the night skies beyond the highways even belied the sincerity of the dark. And then birds would seduce with their pale and perfect plays, which my olden ways would reproach. The trembling songs on their quivering lips even belied the reality of their sorrow. But now I must quit this dance, my dear siblings. I must put my feet back on earth. And that's Feet on Earth. Um, Thank you. Thank you. And I think I can quickly go to the next one. The other one is called The Immigrant. Uh, uh, it's not handwritten. By the way, I should mention that the previous one, that the picture, I actually wrote it myself, and I think it was in my old diary, and I took a picture, so I sent it to Maureen. It's this is called The Immigrant. This is almost verbatim of something that happened to me in Germany. So when I arrived to Europe, it was in Germany in 2015, and this was before. Uh, I will not go into that, something too traumatic. Yeah, so it's in the first few months of my time being in Germany. It's called The Immigrant. So I met this girl by chance when we were both waiting at the subway station, the underground U-Bahn. She for her train, and I for someone to show me the way. She helped me politely and asked questions about me, my life, my country, my language, my accent, my color. She, a German, found it all so interesting. Our lives, our culture, our food, our issues, our poverty, our pollution. Everything so cool, adventurous, spiritual, divine. And I tried my best to explain our problems, our challenges, overpopulation. She, born in the western part of our world, nodded all over again. Oh, so interesting, so unique, so cool. One day, she told me, I will take a long sabbatical and live the life of India as an expat. I thought for a while about her, living the life of India, and I thought for long about her taking a long sabbatical, so casually, so easily. She, with her blonde hair, blue eyes, and pale face asked me the purpose of my immigration to Germany. It didn't take long for me to answer, nor long to realize the truth. She, an expat, and I, an immigrant. That's it. I wrote it actually only recently, even though remembering things from the past. But yeah, coming to Porto was a very nice experience, Maureen. Probably you might share that. So yeah, I was not expecting to take so much time because originally I was going to share my land. It's about something that happened to me in Portugal very recently, but I was never able to manage it within 7 minutes of speaking, so I had to switch it up. Ah, you hate the term expat. Well, welcome to the club. Thank you so much for having me, and thank you so much for the nice comments and feedback.
Thank you so much, Hiten. And there is time for maybe one or two comments. So if you'd like, raise your hand if you'd like to say something to Hiten. All right. I'm going to send Eaton's information once more into the chat. Thank you I'm sorry, first of all, for your experience, and thank you for sharing it. It's unique and universal all at once. All right, so one second. You can unmute there if you'd like to say something out loud. Anyone would like to make a comment, share a reflection before we go to break?
Hiten, I would, I would like to ask you about that phrase in Punjabi, which you had translated.
I know it's a Kirtkar Vandke Chak.
Kirt kar vand ke chak. Okay,
Vandke
thank
Chak.
you.
It's like share, okay. Share and eat or something like that. Share and consume.
Yes,
Kiratkar is to work hard, like is to
yes.
work well.
Jan, did you want to say something?
Oh, I just always like expats are intrinsically exploitative and immigrants are seen as exploitative when they're trying to make a life. And that it's all about skin color. That's just what I wanted to say.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you to the first set. Your individuals. We had Aishwarya. Sorry you were cut off. That will not be shown in the recording. Aim, thank you so much. Eve, Hiten, thank you all so much for your blessing. Next, on the mic to start off our second set, whoop, whoop, is Jan Sham-Shackleton. Jan is an incredible storyteller, and I'm so excited for all of you to witness her. So, Jan, when you are ready, you can unmute yourself now.
Aha. Hello, my name is Samyan. I am living in Los Angeles and I am from Hong Kong. And today I feel very lucky because two of my very, very best friends are here, Roberta in England and Jackie in Florida. So I am super excited to read for them. I also said to everyone I'm only reading fun poems, but I lied because I had to read something political. So first poem political. Then the rest is fun. Okay. Reclamation song. Write poems in dead languages of the colonized. Celebrate quelled rebellions with parades and plaques. Flowers at hidden graves and funerals for the never buried. Excavate overwritten history and upload into cloud. So then I've been stretching myself. So I went to a writer's retreat and I wrote a rhyming poem with a form about nature. It's not very good, but it's fun. Summer in Big Bear. Chipmunks dart around logs hollow, bring nuts and cheeks to burrow. Striped back, bushy tails, search for food, can't fail. Come January hail, cold follows. Bald eagle soars over tall trees, majestic predator coast breeze. White feathers head peaks, perfect evolved beaks. Small animal she seeks, praise flee. Wind sweeps valley creating sound, rustling pine needles all around. Air thin, oxygen fine, cascading tree lines. Beauty of alpine so profound. And then I started pottery again. It is something I did young, and I want to say, like, everyone who has an art practice that you've quit, go back to it. It's made me so happy. So I wrote a poem about my art practice. Essence of things. Soft clay coils together into jar, potential for vase, pot, cup, or a rabbit. Porcelain would not yield, head disproportionate to body, rejects tail. Wheel spins too fast, cracks widen into a woman's torso. Mold paunch belly, grown a child, heavy breasts that once fed. This piece of earth wants to give life itself. And then I wrote a fun haiku. I would like to peel a tangerine which has love in every pulp. And then two more. This one's really fun too. I've been playing with short form. Steal something. Hearts pump blood, mostly unnoticed, forgotten until clogged or broken. Unlike other objects taken, it announces joy when stolen. And then my very last poem, this is for my friend Jackie, who's here. It's my first sonnet and my first ode. I'd like to read more, write more, but this is hers. Older Jackie. COVID times took away such precious things, all lost until immeasurable. Uncertainty, death, fear of what it brings, created a time so unstable. Lockdown forced us into isolation. Morning walks kept our loneliness at bay. Our new friendships brought much consolation, sharing stories, laughing along the way. We kept Fridays as pandemic ended, breakfast on lattes and avocado toast. You did my nails, painted cats, plants tended. Sad your family moved to the East Coast. So let us plan to get your passport, book flight, and I'll meet you at the City of Lights. Thank you.
Thank you, Jan. All right, I've allowed people to unmute themselves. If you'd like to give Jan, there are about a few more minutes. If you'd like to give Jan Her flowers.
No, I'd like to just give her applause. How about that?
Thank you, Mark. And actually, Jan, you're getting a lot of love and flowers and best friendiness in the chat. Yeah, it's
Okay.
so romantic, friendship tribute. Thank you. Yes.
Yeah, I think that's so important to write about not just love, but all the people who you love in the world.
Thank you, Jan. Woohoo! And way to start it off with something so hard and political. And then you got all fun and lovey and fluffy, and there was a whole, you took us on a journey, so thank you. All right. Jan's information once more in the chat for you to connect. And Keith, when you are ready to introduce the next amazing artist to bless us.
Should I wait for Keith or should I start?
I guess we can give Keith another minute.
Okay.
Oh my God. Okay, ready?
Ready. MS is up.
MS Marquart, also known as the reclining poet, is an emerging disabled mixed race Asian American, diasporic Korean American, and German American poet. Her writing explores chronic illness, disability, and intersecting issues and illustrates the hidden daily lives of people living with long COVID, myalgic encephalomyelitis. I hope I got that right. Her work has been published or is forthcoming in publications including Had, Free the Verse, 11th Hour, Literary, Kaleidoscope, exploring the experience of disability through literature and the fine arts, Wishbone Words, HNDL Magazine, Flair Magazine, and Lombardi Voices. Wow. And anthologized in Mindful Poetry Moments. And I think I'm taking up too much of her valuable time at the mic, so I will let everyone read the rest of it. Okay, so she's going to read two poems from her new book called Coven of the East, Reimagining Asian Women's Magical Histories, which is available as an ebook. So I am excited to hear MS Marquardt. So please take it away.
Thank you so much, Keith, and thank you, Maureen. And I am really excited about this anthology. I've got a couple poems in it, and I just love that it's celebrating Asian women's magical histories. So my first poem is Protection Spells Against Long COVID and ME/CFS. Tigers were in all of our Halabaji's bedtime stories when my brother and I visited Korea with our mom. He was our only relative there who spoke English, so Halmani fed us steamed rice and salty grilled fish, and our step-grandfather told us about going for chilly night walks in the green-smelling woods where he would always meet a tiger. "How are you enjoying your grandchildren?" the tiger would ask in a growl. It knew we were visiting, because it was always watching over us, even when we were on the other side of the Pacific. It made sense. In our California home, a carved wooden tiger stood guard, fangs bared. I loved to stroke its soothing, smooth shape and feel protected. I believed in those tiger stories longer than I believed in Santa. But then the wooden tiger disappeared after I went to college, and my memories of Halabaji's stories faded. My friend Rebecca has brought back those memories. She sends me tigers, tiger lamp, tiger print, tiger plush toy that can flip from happy to fierce. We share a Korean American heritage, and with these tigers, she is sending me the symbolism of power, strength, and peace. She is sending me sacred guardians to protect against evil, to actively chase away bad luck. Being so cared for brings tears to my eyes. I put the tiger lamp next to my side of the bed in the corner of the studio apartment I share with my husband. The low white glow of the tiger's body watches over me, giving me strength. With my severe disabilities, every day is a battle. She understands, and I feel her constant care. She wants to chase away my struggles. She wishes me luck with my health. I put the tiger plush toy below the TV, facing the couch. When I don't have the energy to eat, when I can't stand up to go to the bathroom, when my brain fog prevents getting anything done, when I spiral into worry and despair, I look up to see it watching me, encouraging me, and I take a breath. I've been waiting to hang the tiger print, but it's time. During Japan's colonization of Korea, tigers were a symbol of resistance, courage, and hope. After the 2024 election, the fear and dread are constant, and it feels like I need these tigers, bearers of my friend's love, reminders of my ancestors' protection, now more than ever. And my second poem is When My Long COVID and ME/CFS End Me, Will a Mudang Be Waiting? On my sickest days, I squint through my brain's fog at the outline of a woman dressed in a loose white hanbok, long white flowing sleeves, matching white-winged cloth cap. Ceremonial drums thump and little golden bells chime, faint in the distance. I wonder if somehow I can freeze time to send one quick final message to all the people I love before the mudang guides me to the afterlife. Then I wonder whether, as a half Korean raised in the United States who doesn't speak the language, I have the right to be guided to the next world by a Korean shamaness, a leader of Korea's official indigenous religion. Am I Korean enough? However, sometimes they are called halmoni, grandmother, to show greater respect than the title of mudang. For more than 4,000 years, most Korean shamans have been women working for female clients, and women's work is scorned all over the world, especially when it predates formal education. I had a halmoni in Korea, ate her specialty grilled galchi fish and rice, played nights of goduri with her hwatu card deck, listened to bedtime stories from her English-speaking second husband, fell asleep on her padded floors to the smoky chemical scent of green mosquito repellent coils slowly burning to ash while a fan rotated hot summer air over me and my brother. I had a great halmoni in Korea, always dressed in traditional hanboks, with hair tight in a bun, and the most wrinkles I had ever seen on a human being. We bowed deeply to her when we visited her traditional country compound, with pointy wooden eaves where swallows nested, rice paper sliding doors, and an old-fashioned hole-in-the-wooden platform toilet to squat over, while my mother held my arm so my little body didn't fall in. Her husband had passed away, and she ruled the household strictly, but always seemed happy to see us. We communicated in smiles, gestures, bows, and nods, and her calloused, waxy hand gently cupping my face. I learned how to say in Korean, "I'm very full, thank you." She had survived Korea's occupations and wars, scarcity and inhumanity, and she kept feeding us, her great-grandchildren. So if mudangs are sometimes called halmoni, and I had two halmonis, maybe a mudang will guide me to the afterlife one day after all. Maybe shamanism and mudangs are already entering my subconscious. Mudangs show people the unseen powers behind nature, the spirits in every object on earth and in the sky, the connections between people and the cosmos. Since my disabilities have made me homebound, nature's magic has become ever more obvious. Could a shaman be guiding me as I look out the window, track the progress of the trees' leaves, watch the birds play? As I eagerly seek out green buds outdoors, while inside I plant seeds in old tuna jars and gasp at the sparks of wonder in my chest every time a bud bursts into bloom mere weeks later. How can only dirt, sun, and water be enough to create life? I can see the shamanistic perspective that spirits are everywhere, impacting everything. How else to explain the way the calendula flower captures the color of the sun? How else to explain the way that tulip petals become ever more beautiful as they age, colors deepening as the petals wrinkle, shrink, curl? How else to explain the way that a trip to a field of wildflowers, a tree-lined lake, or a chilly beach can create a forever oasis in my memory? Maybe a mudang will explain all this on my final journey. Thank you.
Thank you, MS. Was there more? Okay. Wow, thank you. All right. Feel free to unmute for those who'd like to give Jan some of her flowers, share some reflections. I'm gonna send.
MS unit. Girl, I'm so happy I invited you. You were so great. And I love you writing about ancestors and grandmothers. And actually I feel like inspired to write some poems about ancestors and grandmothers and culture. It's so good.
Thank you. And I loved coming right after you in your poem about your friend. And then I talked about my friend Rebecca in my poem. That synergy was really cool.
Yay to friendship.
Yes.
Thank you, MS. All right. So, remember to take a breath, check in with your body and your breath, your spirit. And up to the mic is our co-host and co-founder. One second. Wait. Keith Marr.
Thank you very much. Wow. I'm very moved by everyone who preceded me. Let's give a big round of applause to everyone so far for all of their wonderful work. Um, I have to tell you, I have been as you all are, I'm seeing the rise of Asian hate within the context of the oppressive policies of our government. And I see the reenactment of the Japanese concentration camps. And I feel moved to share a piece that some of you know, but I really love that it's a poem of resistance and rising above oppression. It's about how oppression affects our sense of identity and self-worth, traumatizes us. It's about racial internalization. It's about rising above toxic masculinity. It's all of those things. And I want to share that with you now. The ache for home lives in all of us, the safe place where we can go as we are and not be questioned. Maya Angelou. For me, to be Asian and male in America means that the ache for home is bone deep and miles wide. The salve in my salvation lies in facing what is mine to face. I testify to heal the wounded child within the man. So this is for all the beautiful Asian boys raised on American movies and TV, believing a sidekick was the best they could ever be. This is for all the beautiful golden boys, never seeing someone with their face possessing any romantic capacity. My Asian brothers and I have been robbed of what makes all of us human, our ability to love and be loved, our core humanity. Racial castration, structural emasculation, are soul-crushing injuries. So this is for the golden boys who were made to hate their eyes, looks, and bodies. This is for the golden boys who were told manhood is measured by height and sexual prowess, how much alcohol he can consume, how much he can take it like a man. Bell Hooks writes the first act of violence that patriarchy demands of males is not violence toward women, but the killing off of the tender parts of themselves. Being Asian and male means you can feel so undesirable that when a girl asks you to the high school dance, you don't believe she's serious, and sadly, you don't accept her offer. It means when you ask your white friend if she's serious, he says, Keith, come on, you're just a little Chinese guy. She just wants to be friends. The original sidekick relationship. It means you can be pulled over by the local small town police and ban you from the public restaurant you just left. Rage and impotence are a whale lodged in your throat. So you return again and again and again till your arrest for a DWA. Dining while Asian. Being Asian and male means many men I meet tell me, hey, I'm really into Asian girls. As if it's a compliment. It means A complete white stranger may cast a colonial gaze upon your daughter and assume he can walk up to you and tell you, your daughter is beautiful, and ask for a high five. I say, fuck off, Mr. Rice Chaser. Would Mr. Complete Stranger ask a non-Asian father for a high five? I light a candle for the little boy whose trauma lives in an alley on the west side of Fresno, who waits for me to bring him home. The alley where my cousins stole pomegranates. The alley where Michael picked his victims like my cousins picked fruit. I was ripe for the picking. The bleach of dissociation can wash away memory, but not self-hate. Because a real man is never a victim. In California, it was illegal for a Chinese face like mine to be seen after dark. So the Chinese built tunnels under the streets to travel at night. I built tunnels in my heart where my song went underground to survive. Now my song sings me. Let us sing all our songs. Let us sing a masculinity based on the courage to ask for what we need and want. Let us sing in the places where we dream. I want you to know, I want you to know, weak is not my name. Sidekick is not my name. Afterthought is not my name. Punchline is not my name. My name is hope. My name is courage. My name is love. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Keith. All feel free to unmute and give Keith his flowers.
Keith, you're always so heartfelt and honest and vulnerable. Like, it's so beautiful. Like, it is, your poetry is the exact difference of like toxic masculinity. And it's so good. Like, it is so good to hear. And as a mother of a son, I hope he too can be vulnerable like that.
Thank you. Yeah, it's nice to hear from a mother.
Thank you, Keith. From the moment we met, I was touched by your ability to be vulnerable with yourself and in public. Thank you. Always thank you.
Thank you.
All right, please check in with your body and your breath, everyone, especially Keith. And sorry, I didn't warn everyone that Keith likely will make you cry. But now you know for future reference. All right, Keith, when you are ready, you can introduce She Dragon 713. And then we will have our second break.
Okay, let me find it. Oh,
It's also in the chat.
It's short.
I need to find my chat. Oh, okay. She Dragon. She has been coming to Yellow for a little while. It's always a pleasure when she shows up and graces her with her craft. Write some, read lots. Creative things with my hands. Proud Vietnamese mother. Blossoming trans girl and a sardonic boy. Ethnicity Vietnamese. Pronouns she and her. Connect with She Dragon on Instagram. So the stage is yours.
Thanks, Keith, and thanks for making me follow you. That was a really, really wonderful poem and reading, and thank you for sharing it with us. Okay, hi everyone. I'm She Dragon 713, and I would like to thank Maureen and Keith for holding the space and including me in this first anniversary of Celebration for Yellow. Okay, my first poem is I Am From, based on Where I'm From by George Ella Lyon. Okay. I am from a hammock strung across the kitchen, from 16-string zithers and geckos clambering across the wall. I am from a gated Spanish-style villa in a cul-de-sac, centered between trained Dobermans and an all-boys private school. I am from water apples and fresh lotus seeds straight from the bud, whose sweetness and heavenly fragrance have no earthly rival. I am from bamboo and lily pads, from Ongwai and Bangwai, my maternal grandparents, from intelligence and resilience and perseverance unbound. I am from incense wafting through sacred Buddhist temples, from Bentek Dui and Bentung Tu, made only for certain celebrations in the lunar year, from hiding our family background on wedding and birth certificates by stating, Father, unknown. I am from fulfilling the prophecy of dying in a foreign land and sweeping water from the threshold during a summer monsoon. I am from the moments that are indelibly etched in my memory, though I have not seen home in over 5 decades. I am from the land of the brave, but not the free. Okay. I always tell my kids to be thankful. We have so much, less than some, but so much more than half the world. That list is endless. So here, I'll focus on the things I'm grateful for not having. I don't have diabetes, though it runs in my family. I don't have bad hearing or dementia, at least not yet. I don't have COVID or any other infection or disease. I don't have a job I hate. I don't have a mountain of debt. I don't have to only make minimum payments. I don't have to have a second or third job to keep the lights on. I don't have children who don't talk to me. I don't have low self-esteem. I don't have to feel alone. I don't have food insecurity. I don't have to grow, catch, or kill my own food. I don't have to carry my own water. I don't have to share my bed unless I want to. I don't have to sleep in a tent except on camping trips. I don't have to live with pain because I can't afford good insurance. I don't have to drive now that my kids can. I don't have to deal with bullies. I don't have room for hatred or fear. I don't have food allergies. I don't have self-loathing. I don't have suicidal ideation. I don't have panic attacks, anxiety, or other psychoses. I don't have to feel bad about the shape of my nose, the slant of my eyes, or the color of my skin. I don't have time to waste on stupidity. I don't have to be a denier. I don't have to be right to be happy. I don't have to blame anyone for my mistakes. I don't have to worry about being deported. I don't have to worry about driving while black. I don't have to worry about being bombed out of my home. I don't have to worry about earthquakes, wildfires, eruptions, hurricanes, and other natural and unnatural disasters. I don't have to make small talk. I don't have to spend time with people I don't like. I don't have to cook if I don't want to. I don't have to wash clothes by hand. I don't have to put up with ignorance. I don't have to be afraid of change. I don't have to stay silent. I don't have to live under a dictatorship. I don't have to turn the other cheek. I don't have to take an eye for an eye. I don't have to abide by the rule of thumb. I don't have to marry for financial security. I don't have to live in a caste system. I don't have to get my news from Fox. I don't have to have a reason to smile. I don't have to behave. I don't have to have quiet orgasms. I don't have to dim my brightness. I don't have to stay in a bad marriage. I don't have to keep up with the Joneses. I don't have to give a damn what influencers say. I don't have to beat around the bush. I don't have to be weak so you can feel strong. I don't have space to hold grudges. I don't have to be greedy and heartless. I don't have to be a feckless coward. I don't have to be a ballsless sycophant. I don't have to say things I don't mean. I don't have to lie to get what I want or need or to get elected. I don't have to take people's rights away to maintain supremacy. I don't have to make others less so I can have more. I don't have to have more to feel good about myself. I don't have to have what she's having. I've been having lots of it. I don't have to pretend. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to be rescued. I don't have to fit in. I don't have to watch what I say. I don't have to be afraid. I don't have to do or be anything I don't want. Okay. This next poem is for my daughter. This is After Fear by Khalil Gibran. My son by birth, someday to become my daughter, doesn't fear becoming the ocean. She wants so much to be there, to belong, to be free. But it is the hateful, fearful men and women who are trying to make it treacherous for her, putting up roadblock after roadblock, passing laws to make her unsafe. This journey is difficult enough. I am disheartened that she may never be free because of others who will not let her live her life on her own terms, but will impose their judgment and project their own self-hatred onto her. Why should they get to live their lives and deny hers? My son wants to become my daughter. How does that affect anyone else except us? How does that make anyone less safe except her? I love you, Storm and Kieran. Okay, this next poem is one I wrote during a local writing workshop facilitated by Kamari Carter Hawkins of Mama's Kitchen Press. Okay. Oh, Maureen, can you do the screen share? Thanks. Preparation. One former French colony. One puppet emperor under Japanese occupation. 20 years of civil war with foreign inducement. One presidential assassination by US-sanctioned coup. One peace accord sabotaged to ensure Nixon election. Ingredients: a scattering of distant mortar fire. One long curfew. One small suitcase, no room for childish toys. One international airport. One photo of our entire extended family. The before picture. A pair of maternal grandparents, our nuclear family, Son's father, and a friend. Throngs of families waiting for a chance to escape. Instructions: wait for hours on the hot tarmac, adjust as necessary. Share one white cone paper cup of cold water. Present 3 false papers, one of my mother's marriage to an American, and our birth certificates to said American. All the passages our money could buy. Take 1 flight out of the country, no return ticket. Cross into the unknown. Mix continuously with fear, anxiety, trepidation, and hope. Serves 6. Okay, this is my final poem. Thank you, everyone. The French compared us to ants, seeing us as nothing but laborers to be trampled on, used, killed. They frightened us into submission by putting the heads of province chiefs on stakes planted in rice bushels. They took our lands, our resources, our women, our men, but also gave us useful things like baguettes, coffee, carrots, and chocolate. But they wouldn't give us freedom. None of them would give us freedom because the resources were too rich. 1,000 years under Chinese rule, 100 years of French colonization, 20 years of brother fighting brother, rivers of tears, rivers of blood, napalm, Agent Orange, AIDS introduced by foreign tourists to women struggling to feed their families, flood, war, famine, poverty. The devastation continues. Now we're scattered to the 4 winds, forming new colonies in strange lands, resilient, thriving, striving. And who doesn't know of pho, banh mi, and café chourda? So I guess we are like ants, and you cannot exterminate us. Thank you.
Okay. How are you feeling, She Dragon? 713, if you'd like to share.
Okay, thanks.
Wow, thank you so much. I have witnessed a few of those already, and my body and spirit respond every time. And that one to your daughter was. You are all unmuted, so feel free to speak. Connect to She Dragon 713.
She Dragon, that was so powerful. I mean, I've been in so many workshops with you, but I've never gotten to hear your final poems before. And wow, I've heard the beginnings of your poems, but that when you finish them, they are so I was just so touched and I just loved them. Thank you.
She Dragon, every time you come, I say, I sure hope she comes back. I do. And then you did. And you're here. And thank you so much for sharing from your heart and your soul with honesty and vulnerability. That's what we're about. That's what Yellow's about. Thank you so much.
Whew, all right, so this is the perfect time for our second and final break before we introduce the last set of the evening. Just want to thank you so much for this second round of blessings. Keith, She Dragon 713, Jan, and MS. Wow, everyone, please show them love, connect with them, support them, amplify their work. And also those from the first set, from the third set, everybody here, let's just support each other. All right, so we have about 10 minutes, so we'll see you. What's 5 plus 10? 15. We'll see you 15. Math, not all Asians are good at math, right? So we'll see
Yeah.
you 15 after. And yeah, thank you.
Yeah. We're poets. We're not computer scientists.
Exactly. Our way back into the room, hopefully, so that you can all witness the upcoming incredible artist that is Jennifer Elise Way.
Right. Thanks for having me. I'm coming to y'all from the occupied lands of the Kickapoo, Jumanos, Wichita, and Talcony, also known as Dallas, Texas. And I created my set because in, I think, past Yellow open mics and the commemoration we had in May, there was a lot of discussion about like censorship for like how we censor ourselves or how our family has censored us. And now it's become an even bigger issue where like the government, the American government is literally censoring the most privileged of individuals. And so I thought I would create a set based on uncensoring myself. And also it's BIPOC Vampire Weekend, which is an event created by a Black cosplayer in response to the lack of representation in horror, often like, pre-Sinners. There really wasn't any vampires of color minus like Blade. And even though there's been, every culture has had basically vampire-like monsters in their mythology. So so you're also going to get a lot of horror poetry. So yeah, my set has basically content warnings for spicy language and horror imagery. And the first piece I wrote right after the election, and it was about how my mom said to stop using curse words in my poems and to stop being so political. And so I decided to write what I think is the nastiest poem ever. So it's fuck Republicans and fuck monsters. Call it avoidance, escapism, dissociation. But I chose to watch streamers play Monster Prom instead of the news announcing election results, because somehow I knew disappointment would trump hope. You see, my fellow humans have always been the most terrifying, and rather than go to bed with anxiety over loss of bodily autonomy and freedoms presumed fundamental, though the founding fathers only meant for them to belong to a certain group, I chose to dream about monsters who embrace me as I am, or can offer the transformation I desire without paperwork or judgment, an undeath to finish the process wearing me down with each day of forced participation in the capitalist grind. A single bite to kill my oocytes and the me people think to be conservative and cis, because that is the category of Asian they assign me. There's still the womb I want to extract, but undead me will happily be disemboweled by a werewolf or a giant spider paramour, giving my flesh for their love. Maybe I'll hook up with a devil, a Faustian pack of fucking. He always keeps his promises, unlike the politicians in all parties and the family who say they love me, yet vote against my survival, or don't care enough to vote at all. Maybe I'll find a Jennifer Check type of demon girlfriend who's a little toxic in personality and saliva, but I will happily swallow that poison if we can together destroy the men who shame us for being childless or try to grab our pussies. They'll go for hers first because she's hotter, only to find that she has vagina dentata, and it's all canines ready to rip into their flesh that she consumes in a matter some would deem unladylike, but I just call sexy. I ask if she knows of a demon who can possess this problematic body so I can have fangs to replace the molars I'm grinding down from this feeling of impending doom. And so my next piece is a bit more like comedy horror, and it's called Reasons I Want to Be a Vampire. I'm fairly nocturnal already. I love bats, cats, spiders, and wolves. Vampires have a wicked sense of style. See Lestat, Celine, Pam, Marceline, Spike, etc. Sleeping in a coffin sounds peaceful. People will take me seriously when I'm hangry. People will take me more seriously in general because looming presence and fangs. Men will regret telling me to smile more. I already look young, so might as well actually not age. And I'll just eat anyone who thinks my ID is fake. Do I even lift? Why, yes, 3 times my body weight. I can move even more quietly. No one would get mad at me for running late because I move too fast or I'll just eat them. I won't have to ask you to repeat what you said. Goodbye, orthodontal woes. No more glasses or contacts or allergy meds. No more sweating, overheating, or freezing my ass off, except when I'm malnourished. Never having to worry about COVID again. Lack of vitamin D won't make me depressed. I hate seeing myself in the mirror anyway. I kind of fade into the shadows, so why not be able to disappear? I want to die, but I also want to live. This could be a happy medium. And I'm going to actually toss in a kind of a last minute addition. It's a little haiku, but let me pull it up. It's not a vampire, but it's based on the fox demons of East Asian mythology, like the kitsune, the gumihos, the hulijing. And it was a prompt that was girl walks alone at night, which is what I do as a femme presenting person. And so the haiku, I call it late night encounter. Girl walking at night, you ask if she's all right. fox eyes, bloodstained grin. And then my last piece is inspired. It was inspired by actually a game of Vampire the Masquerade that it airs on YouTube called LA by Night, and I really connected with the themes of revolution in it. And one of the like a couple of the characters are like very punk rock and wanting to change their society. And so I wrote a poem in response to that. So this is The Outlaw. The world is terrible, so let's burn it down and resurrect a new existence, one that doesn't maintain the masquerade of civility and social decorum, but revels in radical honesty and assholishness. Not for the sake of being cruel, but for the truth that sometimes we don't want to give a damn. But when it matters, we will. And that is why we'll break the blood bonds, because to be unbound is to be free, to give, to take, to do, to be anything we desire. There is no ethical consumption under capitalism, so devour everything. Drink the vitality throbbing in our veins before it turns to anhedonia. Embrace the pain piercing your soul as we tear apart tradition and all the safety networks that have kept us in our places, even if it means we hurt each other a bit. And when the blood is dried and the ash is blown away, there will be pleasure and peace. And that's it for my set. So thank you for having me. And I want to talk about the one flyer I posted up. If you have anybody living in North Texas, there is a queer history exhibit called Badge of Pride. And the curators basically fought the city really hard to get it up. So yeah, if you are there, the exhibit is going on for one more week, and then there will be a poetry event that is happening, and that's the flyer. And I wanted to read the poem from that, but promised them that I would debut that poem. So maybe at another yellow, I will read that poem.
Amazing. Thank you, Jennifer. You're so unpredictable. Like, I never know what you're going to bless us with. And I love that for us and for you. So I'm going to let everyone unmute. I did see that we had one new person enter the room. So just so you know, I'm watching you. But I will let everyone unmute and give Jen their flowers. Everyone's unmuted.
Jennifer, your poems felt like powerful raps to me. So I was experiencing them as music, as beats, as rhythms. It was very, very powerful. Thank you for sharing.
Yeah, thank you.
I loved how you kind of took over the monster vibe. That was really cool. The power of the monsters and the what people will actually take me seriously when I'm hangry. I loved that. And there were so many memorable lines. It was awesome.
Thank you.
All right, Jennifer, thank you so much again for the blessing. I hope you had fun. Yeah, please check in with your body, your breath, your canines, check in with everything. All right, next up. Who's next up? Oh, another one. Another one. Keith, when you are ready. And Keith, I asked you to unmute yourself. Just
Yes.
okay.
So hold on. Oh, yes. Now I share this next poet, storyteller with great pleasure. Okay, all the stars are in alignment now. Diana, Big Mama, who has been a regular at Yellow for a while, and the more and more I see you and am exposed to your comments and your feedback and your loving, supportive, encouraging feedback, the more and more I appreciate you. And that's the truth. She is a spiritual native New Yorker and proud to represent her Chinese, Puerto Rican, Russian, and Black ancestors. As an educator, poet, wellness coach, and human animal rights activist, she brings all kinds together with inclusivity and help them to be seen, heard, and above all, understood. Her work and poetry is an amalgamation of love, trauma, speaking up for the voiceless, and helping those that have been bamboozled into thinking they don't matter. But indeed they do. So, are you ready to take the stage? Okay, take it away.
You can unmute.
Thank you. Oh, thank you, Keith, Maureen, everyone, for this gathering and this celebration. I am in awe of everyone that has gone before, and I'm just so overwhelmed with emotions from everything that I've just witnessed and heard. So with that said, I am going to share with you all. There might be moments like this where my fur babies come into the mix. So here we go. We make it work. So they'll probably want to do zoomies around me. I'm going to share 4 pieces. They stem from different types of poems that I write. So the first one is a limerick, an erotic limerick, if you will. So this one is titled Coitus Interruptus. There once was a lad from Odessa, such an eager subservient to his Madam Tessa. With the crack of her prickly warm whip, he would succumb to all her ravenous whims. Alas, her toddler crept into bed, and it was coitus interruptus. The next one is written from the lens of an animal being, from the lens of their moment of varying emotions as they are in transit. This one is titled Labyrinth. Hollowed out pens, encapsulated stark concrete, metallic smelling ribbons create demon-like figures that dance about. Ventures commence, and I peer through the labyrinth at the sliver of hues of apricot, sensing the radiant warmth it bestows. It feels tantalizing and serene and secure. The delusions of it all are unearthly. I know that the labyrinth is an archaic journey of twists and turns, filled with awe at the outstretched hand before me, quenched with a love never imagined or felt. They see me. I actually matter. This is life everlasting at last. Progressing into the abyss of this labyrinth, halted by silence and movement, excitement prevails and enraptures my every molecular and cellular structure of my being. Freedom encircles my mind's eye. It's palpable. Moving swiftly, I'm extricated from the labyrinth. Freedom's light finally falls upon me. I'm relishing in the glory. Alas, it is a fickle fate. The light is only derived from the blade of truth that circumnavigates my body and my being. My life's been taken. I exist no more. So I wrote that one from my many experiences in the animal rights movement, in our sentient beings movement. So that's where that one came from, the inspiration of so many that I see that are oppressed, not only in human form, but also in animal form. And this next one, again, from the lens of eroticism, I wrote with the inspiration of how a lot of the times we are oppressed by religious zealots, religion, cultural upbringing. And so this is from the fun perspective of just bringing everyone in. It's titled Holy Ho. Welcome, one and all. Blessed be the sinners. Blessed be those that drink from the chalice of the blood of conundrums. Touch it to your lips and taste the cathartic chaos. Swallow the discontented heartache and savor how it trickles and coats your consciousness. This is the afterbirth of the Holy Ho. Blessed be the unseen. Blessed be the sluts and the impious hooligans. Yours is the soul that warrants divination. Yours is the soul that warrants divination. Kneel with contentment as the emotionally tarred and feather are embraced. For you are seen. Come, for you are seen. Grace upon the ministry of newfound love. Listen to the invocation to return to the temple of self-sacredness, one that's made up of your sovereign exaltation and otherworldly proclivities. We celebrate in the fornication that brought you to these hallowed halls. We celebrate you. We celebrate once again in the fornication that brought you to these hallowed halls. Blessed be to you, for you are all chosen. So, yeah, that was to all the holy hoes in all of us. And last but certainly not least, I wrote this one this morning from the perspective of grief, from the perspective of relinquishing, from the perspective of how hard sometimes it could be to let go. And its title is It's Not With Great Regret. It's not with great regret that I no longer believe in the love that you gave me as medicinal care, when in fact, I was being injected with triggered toxins that were slowly poisoning my soul. It's not with great regret that I no longer get racked by the naivete of accepting your apologies, when in fact, every time you uttered the words, "I'm sorry, it'll be better this time," they were used as a finely tunely sharpened weapon of choice to get what you wanted. It's not with great regret that I no longer miss you. And I, as close friends, lovers, and partners that were meant to evolve together into our golden years. When in fact, to remain next to you would mean to eradicate myself from living my life to its fullest capacity and be left with the tarnish of regrets. So you see, it's not with great regret that I'm glad I said goodbye to you and hello to me. That's it. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you so, so much. I am truly, truly blessed to be here. And I thank you all. Yeah. And my always how I end things. If you haven't been told today, this month, this year, that you matter, you matter. If you haven't been told today, this month, this year, that you are loved, you are loved. And if you haven't been told today, this month, this year, that you are seen, I see you. Big mama squeeze. Mm.
Wow. Whew, okay, you are all unmuted. Feel free to quickly give Big Mama your flowers before we introduce the next artist. Oof. Big Mama is so fitting. Thank you. You are so caring. Even you are so caring to us, hoes and sluts, and all of us within and beyond the margins. Thank you, Big Mama. All right, check in with your body and your breath and your spirit. We have someone else coming up next. Keith, when you are, oh wait, it's me introducing. Okay. All right. One second. Shit. All right. We have up next Vex. One second. Vex, are you ready?
Yeah. Hold on.
Are we ready for you?
I'm in yellow from my head to my toe.
Yes, we
I have
love
yellow
it.
legs.
Amazing.
I didn't
Thank
have any
you.
yellow socks though.
Next time. All right, whenever you're ready. Thank you.
Well, I made a video so I wouldn't have to speak.
Okay, that's right. Okay. Shall I start it off now?
Oh, please.
Okay. Maybe I didn't even introduce you. Everyone, this is Vex Kaztro. Vex has also been at Yellow from the beginning, and I am in awe of your wisdom, your talent, your lived experience, and how you synthesize everything into like these beautiful things to behold, these works of art. So that's all I have. The rest, everyone will witness on their own. All right. And then 1 second, let me share sound. As Keith said, I'm setting up this dramatic tension over here, building it. All right. Please tell me if you cannot hear the audio, and I'll start it over.
Quilting the compost. This notion of a transacted afterlife defies nature. Everything lasts forever. Nothing goes away, but lingers here and now, rendered invisible in perpetuity as a point of civility and custom, not to crowd vision with the sloppiness of the multitude of plenty. Ether does not require a plane. Air does not settle as dust. It pervades in stolid determination. Nothing goes, it's all here, now and before, tomorrow and later, and again. You do not breathe your elders' air. You breathe them in their corporeal, existent selves. All of it, we and they and it, are suspended now as every tree and every drift of weather or flake of skin is held accountable by presence. The ocean's divine wasteland will not speak to your interventions. Save it or leave it to chance. It will not cease to be, any more than your ancestors ceased to be on the day you decided to mourn them. The atomized particles of our evaporation will form a curtain of matter that hangs over all, everything, everywhere, for all time. A splinter disappears into a whirlpool created by the very fact of its beingness, and the weight of its existence does not bring it down, never to be seen again. Its fate is neither random nor planned or prescribed by wise men, riding glorious beasts, whose hooves rise and fall and beat and, ultimately, slash into the meat of the meaning of your personhood that maybe you call truth, maybe you call sacred, maybe you call propulsion, maybe you call nation, maybe you call fatalism, maybe you call desire, maybe you call heat, ardor, sublime, subtext, substance, food, fervor, mana, celebration, fluid, sap, granule, light. These opportunities to breathe don't come once in a lifetime, but again and again, and the desire to repeat, to become incorporated into nature's pattern, is what makes other. So rejoice, or mourn, or carry on, or resign. We live and we live and we live and we live again. I just want to say that I made this, I wrote the poem first and then made the video to accompany it. And it's sort of my homage to animism, which is a practice and a belief that I think is widely practiced by a lot of different cultures pre-colonialism, but especially in the Philippines, or also in the Philippines. So, and it was written at a time when there was just a lot of personal, local, and global grief going on, and it was my sort of rethinking about what it means to cease to actually corporeally walk on the planet, you know. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Vex. I love how your video encompasses like so many multiple ecosystems and all the parallels of the existing ecosystems. Oh, when you sent it to me, I was trying my best not to watch it so that I could witness it with everyone else, and I'm glad I did. Thank you so much for being here. Oh, is this your co-star? Are they your co-star rather? Okay. If anyone would like to unmute, feel free to, there's a question in the chat if you'd like to answer out loud. Feel free to give Vex her flowers, your reflections, whatever you'd like. Vex Hiten asked, what was the sound at the beginning and the end, if you don't mind sharing?
I wish I would have thought to bring it. Oh, here it is. I didn't have to. This is a kubing. it's just a piece of bamboo, and can you hear? It's Filipino.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
Wow. So you played that, like you played this insta kubing
Yes,
specifically
it took
for?
many years of practice. No, I just picked it up.
Wow, that's so cool. Thank you. I look forward to more pieces with the kubing somewhere how incorporated. All right, so we still have about 2 more minutes. Vex, if there's anything else you'd like to add, any other reflections, if anyone else would like to share themselves. Keith, I see you're unmuted. I don't know if you wanted to say something to Vex.
Actually, yes, I did. Number one, good to see you again. You have a certain unique contribution that enhances what we're doing. And so I'm glad it all fits together. You know, there's like a little missing piece, and now Vex is there. So thank you, Vex. Hope to see you again. Um, you're really a sort of a inspiration to all of us who want to be more multidimensional in our art. Because I keep thinking a lot about doing something more visual, not film or photography, but more drawing and silkscreen and that sort of thing. But it's really encouraging to see you um, give permission to your creative impulses. So thank you. It's really great. How long did it take you to do that film?
Sorry, Vex, you can unmute. Sorry about that.
Yeah, a long time because you got to like sync it all. But I used like the most basic. Anybody can be a filmmaker. Oh, I went to film school, but I'm sort of my technique towards filmmaking is anti-film school, just like my technique towards writing is anti-mouse. You know, what is that? Creative arts masters in MFA in creative writing, kind of.
Yeah. Right.
You know, like if you hear that run, I think as a way of critique, as a way of writing. I think even as a structure, I think it fucks you up. So, but yeah, and it's all like my phone and QuickTime, and I don't know what I'd do without my MacBook. So it's sort of it's my film studio. But then and
Yeah.
then the writing, and then of course what I see in front of me. I really love nature. And I wanted to say Big Mama's hat. I think that's the message to bring forth. Doesn't it say poet era? And that's what I think will save us. I really think it will save us if you do things like this, or you don't wait for things like this, and you just go on the corner and you start reading, and you start gathering a crowd, and you encourage them to write. And then and then whenever you're gathered in numbers, writing and speaking and testifying and witnessing, we've already kind of seen the backlash to the recent huge censorship thing that's going on of actually canceling people's shows because you don't, which is a direct violation of the First Amendment, as written. But they can't cancel you if you're speaking out loud. They can't stop you from speaking. So I think a whole movement of making this the official poet era will save us. Because I think it's happening.
Thank you. Thank you, Vex, for that. I bought this at a poetry event at the New York City Poetry Festival, where I was able to share my poems. And one of the things, even when I'm educating students, I've educated them, taught them poetry. It's just from a lens of being, not doing, just being. And it's really prevalent. Also, like somebody said, oh, you share your poems on occasion onto your Instagram platform. My platform is Diana Rose Wellness, where I talk about a lot of things to do with wellness. And yet poetry is wellness for me. It's a way that I can release a lot of my stressors, a lot of the things that are happening or the things that I see egregiously being done, to others. So for me, poetry is wellness. And so that's why I sometimes incorporate it. And I'm inspired now to incorporate more of it. Yeah.
Thank you so much, Big Mama and Vex, for blessing us. So glad we were able to have you at our celebration. It's only it's fitting because you were there for our very first session as well. All right. Keith, when you're ready.
So, Maureen, are you ready? There's only one person left. Maybe people don't know, neither Maureen or I were planning on being participants, but as it worked out, spaces cleared away. People had to drop out, and now there's room for Maureen to share her craft and art, her wonderful words. And I think it's only fitting because it really wouldn't be yellow without Maureen. Maureen is the author of My Fears Out Loud, her debut poetry collection, which is wonderful. I recommend everybody get it. She shows so much art and courage and honesty and vulnerability. I would ask myself, could I do what she's doing? Could I say what she's saying? Her movement is informed by her belief that all oppression and therefore all liberation is connected. She invites us all to bear witness to ourselves and the world, to heal individually and collectively. No one is free unless all of us are free. Inspired by the words of Fannie Lou Hamer. She is a proud Filipina in Ilocos. Is that Ilocano?
It's Iloco.
Iloco?
Mhm.
Does that mean Ilocano?
Well, actually, I met someone, Ara, who educated me about the correct name and identity of our people from the region. So it's Iloco, not Ilocano.
Oh, really? Okay, thank you. Learned something. So you ready, Maureen? We're ready for you with
Yes.
bated breath.
Huh?
With
Yes,
bated
thank
breath.
you. Oh God. Okay, here we go. Oh my God. Okay, so wow, I'm terrified as always, but well, we move, right? As PJ says, speak the word. So just two things. Thank you all so much for being here. I'm gonna try to really rush, like get through my one piece. Um, there has been a lot of talk about animism, about all animals, including humans. And so I have my keffiyeh here. I have my shirt that says, "Not your mom, not your milk." And I won't go on and on, but I hope that's something that we'll think about. And also the piece I will share um, was inspired by just me being sick of being fetishized, objectified, sexualized, especially when there's so much more that we can and should be focusing on. So this piece is called I Wanted to Read a Poem About Genocide, and it's inspired by June Jordan's poem called Moving Towards Home. So in this piece, there is mention and allusion of rape and all kinds of violence and mechanisms of war. So please tend to yourselves as you witness this piece. I wanted to read a poem about genocide, and I asked a friend to record me. I wanted to read a poem about genocide, but that day, I donned a nude shirt without a bra. I wanted to read a poem about genocide, but my nipples were showing. They were hard, harder to absorb than the content I'd hoped to share. See, I was responsible for the reaction of every set of eyes laid upon my nipples. Because a liberated body is more intrusive than bodies bombed to smithereens, more than fragmented parts of a person collected into a backpack, more than a child whose head was held hostage by an army to refuse their mother a peaceful goodbye. More than running a train on a nurse who works 25-hour days in a hospital beyond capacity. More than a law that allows children's not yet fully developed bones to be pulverized as long as they aren't killed. More than a child blinking and then opening their eyes to see their entire family slain before them. More than premature infants removed from incubators because every hospital was burned to ashes. My dark, pointed nipples are more difficult to digest than soil and leaves children forage because starvation is a mechanism of war. More than a child being maimed and poisoned, mining for minerals that both feed and threaten their families in a continuous loop. More than a child exposed to toxic fumes, dismantling e-waste to earn a few coins a day because capitalism, because colonialism, because imperialism. My body is not safe even while I talk about other unsafe bodies. Bodies that are condemned based on the color of their skin, their size and function, the anatomy between their legs, and the abundance of their lands, as long as we have something to be taken, and trust me, they take everything. We are not safe. So I ask you, you who are focused on the trivialities of my body, cast your gaze upon those who need you to see them. Challenge your conditional discomfort and get uncomfortable with multiple ongoing genocides. Get uncomfortable with the prison industrial complex, the medical industrial complex, the mental health industrial complex. Get uncomfortable with ethnic and racial cleansing. Get uncomfortable with the great replacement for the sake of racial hygiene. Get uncomfortable with forced sterilization and eugenics. Get uncomfortable with every imperialist motive that has radicalized you to the extent that you are more focused on my nipples than on the fact that our world is crashing and burning. And do something. Anything. Read, listen, research, donate, write a letter, sign a petition, join a protest, support community organizers, amplify, gather, resist, boycott, divest, and stop worrying about my goddamn nipples. Thank you.
Wow.
How much longer now?
Wow.
Let's all take a breath.
Wow.
How's everyone doing? How are your nipples, your bodies, your breath?
So powerful.
Thank you all so much. I finished right on time. I wanted to be fair. So now we have some time for all those who would like to, oh, let me remove the spotlight here. For anyone who would like, praise be the areolas. Yes, yes, leave it to Big Mama to say that. Thank you for blessing mine and the areolas in the world. Um, so now is the time for us to kind of like deconstruct, like through this discussion, if you'd like, what you have witnessed, what you have shared, what it has been like for you, if you'd like. And yeah, the floor is open. I will start us off by saying that as much as these spaces are, this space and all of you are so nourishing for me, it also really illuminates like who is not in this space, who I personally don't feel comfortable inviting into this space, who I wish I could, like my family, yeah. And so we really do get to choose some things, not so many things, but there are some things we can choose. And I'm grateful that you've chosen to be here. And I am so grateful that I also have the choice to be here. So, yeah, I will leave you all with that for now. I can keep going, but I don't want to. I would love to witness others' reflections if you'd like to share.
There's no official time limit. If you just want to share one word about how you feel, that's okay too.
Maureen, that was really powerful, and I think it was the perfect ending. It connects everything all together. And tonight I've witnessed like it's been like going on a journey, and I've witnessed, poems about the personal, the political, and everything in between. And what Vex shared earlier as well, like, the power of speaking. And I think I've been thinking a lot about this and how these spaces are so important. Like last year, the last time I came to Yellow, it was a lot about like Asian identity. And I feel like, just I think 6 months late, wait, is it six? A few months later, I feel that this space has really grown and expanded to embody this solidarity, what it means to be a, a person of color and a migrant in this world, right? And living in this system of all these different white supremacy, colonialism, and genocide. So I really thank you for this space, and I think that what we have is really special, and it inspires me to want to like use my voice and speak the power through my voice. Yeah, thank you so much.
Well said. Thank you so much.
Yeah, I kind of feel the same. I really appreciate all the diverse voices just from all over Asia, but kind of notice there's a lot of common threads, and like basically we all live under the same earth, and we're all facing like kind of what Eve was saying, the same systems of oppression in all our various countries, and sometimes like it's Asians inflicting it upon other Asians too. And so it is like we're all in this together and we're all fighting together. So kind of like, yeah, just feel more motivated to keep creating.
So for me, in other circles that I've been a part of in other collectives, I always say we're different, but surely the same. And humor and tears and everything, I always say we're all deliciously fucked people, because we are deliciously fucked in whatever capacity we find ourselves or choose to be in or are thrusted into. So in a collective like Yellow, it is bound by the color yellow, yet it's such a kaleidoscope of different beautiful hues. And that is what makes this collective gathering, event, celebration beautiful.
And just to let everyone know, we're not fully done yet with this celebration. We're gonna do Keith will wrap us up and we'll do a closing practice so we can transition out of this sacred space and into the real world. Well, this is the real world. We are creating this world. We are shifting back into what it should be, right? Together, collectively. But something that I did want to say also is like for those who who featured today and those who have been at Yellow and have shared, and those who have also attended but not shared. Something I say in every space is it takes courage to share, and it also takes courage to respect your own timing. And if you have been attending but have not said anything, have not shared anything, but you're just there, and we value your presence and more so your agency to inhabit our shared space in a way that feels safer and true for you. So for those who have not shared yet, or maybe will not share today or for a while or ever, we need you and we value you. And thank you so much for being and for sharing your being with our space. So, oh, Keith, you're muted.
Yeah, thank you for saying that. Yeah, we need you, all of you, in whatever way you are with us, and whether you speak or not. I feel like we all are participating in art together, whether we speak or not. So thank you for whatever it is you do when you come. I feel like, I guess let me just double check. Does anybody else want to say something? I don't want to cut anybody off. No? Okay. I'm losing my voice. So let me just say, my heart is full. And I think somebody said, I'm going to be sitting with all of this experience for a while. I think it was Aishwarya, and I am too. I can't really tell you. I'm going to discover what this all means later. But as I said, my heart is so full, and I'm so grateful to be able to celebrate our stories, our culture, our ancestors, and the generation yet to come. It's like a blessing like no other. I thank you. All of you are beautiful human beings. There used to be this Instagram, I think, and it was called Humans of New York. And they would have pictures of people. And that's what I think of, how all of you are wonderful human beings. So beautiful and unique, but yet so similar. So I'm full of gratitude. I hope you rest. Take the time to rest. Rest is how we grow into new spaces that we create. I hope you hydrate, as Maureen always tells me. And I'm going to leave you with something I always like to end with, which are the beautiful words of Adrienne Marie Brown, who shares this to all the activists that she has encountered, that you are enough. All of you are enough. Your work is enough. You are needed. Your work is sacred. You are here, and we are grateful. We thank you so much for your presence, for joining us, for just being the wonderful people that you are. And my voice is gone.
Thank you, Keith, for sticking it out to the end. I know that you aren't feeling well. And Aishwarya, I don't even know what time is it in your time zone?
It's 1:41 a.m.
Oh my goodness. Thank you so much for being here at an ungodly hour. Thank you. So just some logistics before we close out for reals. So we've sent along a few links throughout the event, throughout our anniversary celebration. Celebration, by the way, this pun was thanks this wordplay was Keith's, just like yellow was Keith's imagination, brilliance. So the gift bag is basically all of us, we each have our own name cards. There's information about how to connect with each artist that presented today. There are additional resources like a little glossary, some things to watch, listen to, different things to witness, and different organizations and initiatives that you can connect with, learn from, unlearn from, and amplify if you're able. And then, so there's like a series of like an event page on Eventbrite and Facebook. And so because of tech stuff, yeah, just we're not meeting on September 28th, so please disregard that. This was our meeting. We meet monthly, and the next event, the next gathering of Yellow is on October 26th and on November 30th. And then we're going to have a holiday special. So similar to today, we had this in September we had the anniversary, and in December we'll have a holiday special, which will be just as long. I'll just speak for myself. Holidays can be really tough, but I also know that for many reasons and for many people with lived experience, that holidays are tough. I am like a walking, talking Grinch. But anyway, so if you would like to come together, commiserate, rage, and celebrate, and activate, then we can do so together before like Christmas and other holidays. So that's December 21st. We're going to put on an application at the beginning of November. So please keep an eye out for that. And I think that's that. All right. Any final thoughts, reflections? Would anyone like to promote themselves or someone else? Would someone like to send their recommendations, their favorites? I would like to send a recommendation. September 29th, Tara Singh, an organizer of Shaded Writers, a very sacred and holy space, and also a facilitator at Speak the Word, will be launching their pamphlet called Fragments on September 29th. So please attend if you can and amplify. I think Jennifer also had an event the beginning of October in which they will debut a new piece. And Eve will also be performing for AMO Live, so please drop that link as well. Once again, because we all talk so much.
Can I just take 1 minute? Maria, are you there? So my friend Maria and Maria is here, and we are going to be doing a set together at the next Sunday's AMO Live. It's a live stream. Each of us have 30 minutes, and it's actually themed on migration. And both of us, whatever I shared today, Maria is very similar in terms of values and why we write and why we want to speak. So I invite both of you to all of you to come witness both of us, and we will share the link later. Thank you.
Thank you, Eve. Yes, please drop your links in the chat. In the gift bag also are the Instagrams and Facebook and whatever ways that you can remain connected with everyone who performed today. All right, so it's time to wrap up. So I invite you all, just like earlier, to either close your eyes or fix your gaze on a neutral position. I'm going to close my eyes. And take a moment or two to notice what you notice in your body and your breath. I invite you to notice how you notice, from what lens you are noticing and observing yourself from. I invite you to notice the thoughts and emotions that are or have been surfacing throughout this experience, this shared experience. And to really make note of what belongs to you and what doesn't. Today we have all shared and witnessed art and lived experiences that are unique and universal. We have named what's unspoken. We have uncovered, processed, so take a moment again to take inventory of what belongs and what doesn't. I'll invite you now to place one hand on your chest, one hand on your belly. And if you are not able to either visualize it or to simply try to pay attention to the rise and fall of your chest. The rhythm of your heartbeat. The rhythm of your breath. And if you feel so inclined, I invite you to move your hands up to your shoulders. So that you are in your own embrace. And if you feel safe and comfortable to do so, I invite you to hold yourself as tightly or as loosely as you need, or maybe not at all. Take a moment to understand what your body is asking for. Take a moment to feel yourself holding and being held. When you're ready, open your eyes. Return your gaze to the room and each other. And if you want, I invite you even to make a sweeping motion. We have held ourselves in, and we can also smudge away what we don't want to keep, what we want to release after this space. All right. Please, please check in with yourselves, your body, your breath, your spirit, however, whatever surfaced here and what may surface later on. Please be curious and gentle with yourselves. And thank you so much. I leave here grateful. So until next time.
Thank you. Bye, Maureen.